Good morning to you. All are welcome here. Good morning to you. All are welcome here. Welcome here are you. Good morning to you. Good morning, we're at you. Good morning to The doors are closing. Time for you and me and you. Good morning. The doors are closing. Come on in. It's you. Good morning. Have a seat in, not a pew. 'Cause we're you. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to you. Who are you? Fall festival, it's coming right up at you, and you can be there too. It's the fall festival with stewardship for you. I really do have a prepared song for you, too. In the meantime, good morning to you. The doors are closing. Come on and sit in your non-pew. We're at you. Chairs of our own and a voice to share at you. We like chairs, we like to share because we care at you. There's our birthday girl. To you, it's her rebirthday. Happy birthday to you, to you, to you. Come on in, everyone. Welcome, all are welcome, you. As you can see, well, as you saw, we are entering the fall festival and stewardship season. There it is. And, raffle tickets, get your raffles. All right, thank you, Jean. Thank you, everybody, for being here. I'm very excited for Brandon's message today. It's nice to see you in person. And I have a song, but if you notice, the name is familiar. Amanda Udis Kessler also wrote Mother Earth, Beloved Garden, and as well as dozens of others hymns that are now in the digital hymnal. So I learned one for you, and there's some words that you can repeat. So this is not the whole verse, but the lines that you repeat are in parentheses. And we'll sing, you just sing the same echo whenever you hear the phrases. So we are rooted in fertile ground, and you sing, fertile ground. We are rooted in fertile ground, fertile ground. And then I'll sing a line, and then we'll come back, because we are rooted in fertile ground. Nice. We are rooted in fertile ground. We are rooted in fertile ground. And our roots go deep, and our love abounds. We are rooted in fertile ground. We are building a better day, better day. We are building a better day, better day. As we work and dream, we are on our way, 'cause we are building a better day, better day. May compassion be our guide as we offer up our lives in the service of justice, peace, and love. May our faith and hope abide. We're creating a world of love, world of love. We're creating a world of love, world of love. Where each living soul always has enough. We're creating a world of love, world of love. We are healing the ones in pain, healing pain. We are healing the ones in pain, healing pain. We are changing lives as we start again. We are healing the ones in pain, healing pain. May compassion be our guide as we offer up our lives in the service of justice, peace, and love. May our faith and hope abide. We are rooted in fertile ground. We are rooted in fertile ground. And our roots go deep, and our love abounds. We are rooted in fertile ground, fertile ground. Nicely done. Thank you all. Welcome. Welcome, Natalie.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship of Fayetteville. My name is Natalie Emmons, and I lead our Nature and Pagan Spirituality group, Web of Life, along with the Web of Life planning team. Unitarian Universalism is a religious tradition that values freedom in religious thought and journey. We value our connections to each other, to all of life, and to the universe of which we are a part. We work toward love, justice, and hope as we journey together in community, and we welcome you, whoever you are at this moment, and wherever you are in your spiritual journey. For those of you visiting us for the first time, you'll find a visitor information card in the seat back in front of you, and we would love for you to fill one out so we can get you on our email list and keep you informed of our events. Our friends on Facebook can connect with us by checking out our website, uufayetteville.org. If you have a joy, concern, or milestone to share with the fellowship, you are welcome to fill out a yellow card, and you can indicate on the card if you would like your comments shared aloud when we drop stones later in the service, or if you prefer to only share them with leadership. If you have a need for hearing assistance, our AV tech, David, in the back can help you with that. Children and the sounds they make are always welcome in our service. However, if you or they need a break, there are seats in our foyer where you can continue to listen to the service, and there is a fully staffed nursery and playroom downstairs. Please remember to silence your phones and devices as we enter into our service and this sacred time together. We are delighted to welcome back our speaker today, Brandon Weston. Brandon is a spiritual healer, writer, and folklorist living right here in the Arkansas Ozarks. He is the author of Ozark Folk Magic, the Ozark Mountain Spellbook, and Granny Thornapple's Book of Charms. He is the owner of Ozark Healing Traditions, a collective of articles, lectures, and workshops focused on traditions of medicine, magic, and folklore from the Ozark Mountain region. Brandon comes from a long line of Ozark Hill folk and works hard to keep the traditions that he's collected alive and true for generations to come. We are truly blessed to have Brandon bringing visibility to Ozark folklore practices and beliefs and highlighting their modern day applications. And Brandon returns to UUFF to dive deeper into the role of traditional healers in communities today. So it is our pleasure to welcome him back, and I will turn it over to Stephanie now to help us light our chalice. Thank you.
Good morning. Please join me in the lighting of the chalice. Love
is the spirit of this community, and service is its prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and truth, and to help one another. Thus do we covenant together.
Good morning. I just want to open with some words that a friend of mine who is a traditional healer in Yuchi Nation gave to me that sort of prompted the subject that I'm going to be talking about today. So just some thoughts to ponder on as we go into this. Traditional healing isn't gone. It hasn't disappeared under a tidal wave of science and reason. It's just loosed itself from the limitations of cultural taboos and historic preservation. It's wild and in every one of us. We're all healers, and we don't even know it.
Yes. If you're able, please rise and sing this with me. Choir has learned this before for us, so it should seem a little familiar, and it is in the book 127. The gray book, that is. One, two, here we go. Can I see another's woe and not be in sorrow too? Can I see another's grief and not seek for kind relief? Sorry, I had to breathe. Can I see a falling tear and not feel my sorrow share? Can a parent see their child weep nor be with sorrow filled? And breathe. Can a family sit and hear infant groan and infant fear? No, no, never can it be. Never, never can it be. Thank you. You may be seated.
As a community of people that care about each other, we share our joys, concerns, and milestones. We will invite you now to share your ups and downs as you desire. If you filled out a yellow card, you may bring it to me when you drop a stone. On the card, please indicate whether your comment is confidential or can be shared aloud. If you need to stay where you are, feel free to raise the card so someone can collect it and bring it up for you. If you are attending virtually on Facebook, you can write your joys, concerns, and milestones in the comments at this time, but please note that those comments will be public. So we have Ollie here with our stones, and you may now come forward and drop a stone for any joy, concern, or milestone expressed or held in your heart. As you drop your stone, you may you experience the spreading of love and support. The collective ripples from our stones dropping in water symbolize our connections to one another, to our wider UU community, and to the eternal web of existence of which we are but a small part. So we welcome you to come up now. David, do we have any joys, concerns, or milestones on Facebook? Okay, not this morning. Is the offering next? What do we have next? Gratitude, sorry. We have Marty with our gratitude moment. Thank you.
Good morning. It's good to be here. Good to see you all. The last time I did a gratitude moment was during our COVID shutdown, and I didn't see anybody. I had to deliver it by Zoom, and at the time, Sarah, my wife, and I did it together. We took turns saying what we were grateful for, and we followed Elizabeth Barrett Browning's poem, "How Do I Love Thee? Let Me Count the Ways." And so we did UUFF, How Do We Love Thee? And we thought it was pretty clever, but found out later it was a good time for a bathroom break for a lot of people. So, yeah. And here Only 4 short years later, they invited me back. So, yeah. But if you need a bathroom break, I understand. The two most important tools for maintaining emotional well-being are acceptance and gratitude. This is what your therapist will tell you. Accept the things that can't be changed and be grateful that your life isn't even worse. I didn't say you had a good therapist. I didn't say We can't change the past. We can't change the weather. We can't change the laws of physics. We can't change other people. We have to accept that some things are going to be the way they are and to recognize that continuing to be upset is not helpful. And then there's gratitude. Gratitude for what we have been given, for our friends, for our families, both chosen and biological, for laughter and good food and fun activities, for coffee and hot showers and the kindness of strangers. One thing I am grateful for today is that this is the 51st anniversary of my first date with a cute little 18-year-old redheaded nursing student. We went to see Dr. Zhivago. We both liked movies, and movies became an important part of our dating lives. That's what you do in college when you're not 21 yet. We both liked movies, and we didn't have Netflix or HBO or cable at the time. On the first anniversary of our first date, we sat down and listed all the movies we had seen together during that year. It totaled 52. And the amazing thing for me today is not that we watched an average of one movie per week, but that we could remember 52 movies over the course of a year, when today I can't remember the movie I watched last night. I am grateful for this place. Sarah and I joined 31 years ago, not in order to become more religious specifically, but in order to feel more connected with a community. Coming here started my conscious religious education, something I did purposefully, instead of just by absorbing Bible stories that I saw in movies or television. I learned the UU principles, and I joined committees where I saw the principles being put into action. I could see what it meant to treat people with dignity and worth, to use the democratic process, to accept the beliefs of others, and to encourage spiritual growth. Without committee work, the principles would have just been words. I am grateful for the ideas my family and I have been exposed to here. We are a diverse group, coming from many different places and holding many different values and ideas. Diversity, despite some current political beliefs, is not a bad thing. Roald Peterson was an early member and agriculture professor who always said that diversity makes things stronger. Diversity makes things stronger became an important part of my belief system. Another early member, Louise Russert Kramer, said that she liked coming to a church where she didn't have to check her brains at the door. I wanted a belief system based on reality, not fairy tales. Coming here challenges my thoughts and beliefs and encourages me to consider different ways of seeing things. This place helps me to grow and change. I am grateful for the people I have met here and continue to meet. Their stories become a part of me. They enrich me and make me feel more connected. They challenge me to do my best. This place supports my sense of purpose. Coming here multiplies my efforts in the world. I have an impact larger than myself. Some of what we do here has changed over the years because the people who attend have changed over the years. It will continue to change to match the needs and talents of those in the congregation. And it will continue to change to match the needs of our communities. Have you read the news lately? People being arrested for immigration violations while all they were doing is carrying out the orders that the courts gave them, using federal forces in cities that don't need or want them, gerrymandering to purposely bias election results. Love is the spirit of this community, but we don't have to love everything that happens. Our beliefs also are strongly grounded in and committed to the truth. We have to have the courage to find it out the best we can. Our religion is unique in its commitment to those 7 principles, and we have a unique obligation to be a place that provides for us and others ethical and religious direction, committed, clear thinking about values and ethics, support for our children to learn to love each other and themselves, a sense of joy and security and friendship, to make this place a haven for all of us who have been hurt, oppressed, and traumatized. We need this place, and our community needs this place. It is up to us to keep our church open and available for future generations. It is possible, but only if each and every one of us commits to doing what it takes. We have to join committees, do the work, set the direction, and persist even when things become difficult. There is too much work to put this on only a few, and there is too much financial demand to expect only a few to foot the bill. We do not have one person or 5 or 10 who can pay for all we do and need to do. It is our responsibility, each and every one of us. This place has changed lives and will continue to change lives, but only if we accept ownership and provide the energy, wisdom, and money that it takes. Make a pledge, keep your pledge, and encourage others to do the same, because it matters. Thank you.
Okay, it is now time for the offering. And as Marty highlighted, the important work of this fellowship is only possible because of your generous contributions of time, talent, and treasure. Every contribution of every size is helpful and appreciated. As we pass the offering baskets, we invite you to share financially. If you prefer, you may give at our website by texting online or mailing checks to our office. Will the host please come forward and pass the offering baskets?
thank you all. It's good to be here again, sharing stories about the Ozarks and about Ozark healers. So I want to start by reading the opening that I read one more time, because it really was the inspiration for this talk and something to think about. Traditional healing isn't gone. It hasn't disappeared under a tidal wave of science and reason. It's just loosed itself from the limitations of cultural taboos and historic preservation. It's wild, and in every one of us, we are all healers, and we don't even know it. I structured my talk today on points that have been given to me by my healer teachers that really landed home for me what traditional healing is all about. And while I talk from a perspective of the Ozarks, we can really take these talking points, these thinking points, and apply them to really any of our cultural backgrounds. I think that they are universal in that sense. The first point, or I kind of like to think of them as nails, driving these nails home, about, getting through misconceptions and things like that. The first nail is that community is like an onion. I guess ogres are sometimes also like onions in terms of Shrek, but community is also like an onion. The teacher that really taught me about this, she always liked to say community is like an onion. Sometimes it stinks, but we can make something beautiful and tasty with it. But community is like an onion because of the layers. And as we peel back each and every layer of our community, we still have the onion. We don't have anything different. And so I think a lot of times when we start thinking about what we can do in our communities, as community representatives or as traditional healers within our community, which we'll look at how, in fact, we all can be traditional healers within our community, but we sometimes face some of these challenges, and one of the challenge is, well, the community is too big for me. And for me, going into the work that I do, this was one of the things that I really got scared of in the beginning, this idea of the community at large, and I don't know the community, and it's maybe too big. It's the big outer layer of the onion, that thick yellow skin that we have to get through. But the point with this idea is that community exists at different layers in our lives. At the very heart of the community is you. You are the community. So community can be the individual. The community can be the individual and their household, their family. The community can be a neighborhood. The community can be a church, can be a religious organization. The community can be different communities coming together into a larger community. But I think it's important, and from the perspective of Ozark traditional healers, every layer of this onion, every layer of the community that we might encounter is a place where we can do work, where we can bring our talents in and we can actually do the work that we need to do. One of my healer teachers, when I was sort of starting off in my apprenticeship, for lack of a better term, she told me, start in home. Don't think that, you can immediately go out and change the world, but by starting where you are, starting in the middle of those layers, the work that you do ripples out and does affect the bigger layers. And for some, talents and our gifts are for addressing the larger communities. But if nothing else, you have your home, you have you. And that is where the deepest and most profound change can begin. That's where the healing starts. The second nail, or the second point that was really given to me by one of my teachers, this was addressing something that I had sort of fallen into as a folklorist. And this point is, don't get lost in the folklore. And so for me, going from a folklorist to working one-on-one with community healers, I had a lot of stories in the back of my mind. One of them that I always still love talking about is of these very famous Ozark healers that had, eventually books published about them and news articles, things like that. One of my favorites is Omer Palmer, the Wizard of Oto, as he was called, which was a small community in Missouri. Omer Palmer is most certainly not his real name, but the name that he showed up to town with. And he's had several books published about him. He went to prison several times for practicing medicine without a license. But every day he would have upwards of 1,000+ people that would visit him for his miraculous cures, many of which baffled the local doctors themselves. We also have other healers who are just as famous, although maybe not as well written about. One is Ella Ingenthron Dunn, the granny woman of the hills, as she's sometimes called. She was a very famous midwife in her community who also saw hundreds of patients every day, and according to the folklore, knew upwards of 500-600 individual plants to heal with. I love stories. I love mythology. But a quote from Joseph Campbell has always struck me. Myths, while based in ordinary life, are nonetheless still exaggerations of ordinary life. The Ozark healer that gave me this sort of, nail of don't get lost in the folklore, her point was not to discredit or discount the contributions that you have just because somebody else has contributed more. And this is an important part of the life of the traditional healer, and an important lesson that wherever you are needed, whatever you can do as a part of your community is the best thing that you can do. And yes, we have examples in the folklore. We have examples in historical records of famous people who have done a lot for their communities, but all of those people started off somewhere. They started with themselves. They started with their families. They started with the community that they had around them. And so as potential healers ourselves within our community, it's really important that we don't get lost in the big stories. We take inspiration from them, and we use that inspiration to drive us to do our best with what we've got where we are. The next point that was given to me, this next nail, this thing that cuts through these sorts of misconceptions about the healing process is a healer teacher of mine said there's a great power in just showing up. And I think that is a very important thing that we lose sight of sometimes, that our presence can be a part of the healing experience as well. And this does connect to traditional Ozark healing practices. One reason why even today traditional healers remain popular is that they are able to address certain needs within a person's life that maybe they aren't getting in bigger medical establishments. And one of those is the power of showing up. The power of, sitting down with a person and asking, what's wrong? The power of listening, the power of offering love and support as a part of the healing process. We forget that is the beginning of how humans have healed each other. In the beginning, it was with love. It was with care. Even if it was, I don't know what's going on, but I can be here. That is a huge part of healing and a huge part of the process that we can bring into our communities today. The power of just showing up, the power of just being there. And I think a part of this also is the power of showing up as you are. Whenever I work with people in the community or with clients or whatever it might be, I always stress I am a person that needs healing showing up for another person who needs healing. I'm not a person who has any answers, but together maybe we can find the answers. So the power of just showing up, the power of just being there for our communities at whatever level that is. Traditional healers in the Ozarks would often live with their patients, a thing that is sort of inconceivable for us today, but in smaller communities it was a lot times easier. But they would live with their patients because they recognized that physical illnesses and physical sicknesses don't just affect the physical body, but affect the entire life around us. And as a person who I live by myself, I know this well. Every time I'm sick, the only thing I can think of is there's no one around me and I'm sick. And so the power of showing up in this case is the power of being there for others when they are sick, even if it is just to be there. That is such a powerful thing. And of course, we're not just talking about physical illnesses, but we're talking about anything that would cause strife or cause harm within our lives. Just the power of showing up and sitting next to somebody, asking, is there anything that I can do for you today? All of these things that we sort of take for granted were a vital part of the healing process for generations in the Ozarks, and equally as important as offering a physical remedy or a physical cure. As one of my healer teachers always would tell me, she said, every medicine that we give with love and we give with a listening ear. Together, they are not separated. So traditional healers in the Ozarks would often live with their patients while they were healing in order to help them rearrange their lives. In a lot of cases, families had lots of kids. And so part of the role of the healer was to cook for the family, to clean for the family, to take care of things so that the person and this is, I think, a very important part of this that we have sometimes forgotten, but all of this was so that the individual could engage with their own sickness, engage with their own healing process. And I think that's something that we have lost sight of. This idea that we are not just curing an illness, but by engaging with the healing process, we are actually able to learn something from the process. Traditional healers would be there to help people through this. And then when they weren't needed anymore, they would leave. They would go and they would visit other clients and other patients. But they would always return back, and they would always check on those who they had worked for to make sure that they were in a good place still. So this power of showing up is not just showing up when things are bad, but showing up continually and showing up through the bad times, through the good times, to help support not just those around us, but to help support our own healing process as a part of that. Another point is the use of our gifts. As one of my healer teachers always told me, the only gift you have is the gift you have. And this is this idea that we sometimes are very aspirational for doing certain things within the community that maybe isn't in our capacity. And that's okay. We have our own talents, we have our own gifts. This is reflected amongst traditional healers in the Ozarks through generalists and specialists. This was at one point very common amongst healers. Not everybody could do everything. And so you had people whose gift was for certain types of healing, whether that was a gift for remembering plants and remedies, or a gift for midwifery, as with the granny women, or gifts of more miraculous healings like blood stopping and the famed wart charming. Not everybody could do everything. And I think for me, this has been a huge lesson in recognizing where my talents lie and working within those. And recognizing that the community that I work within, I'm not an island within that community. Everyone has their own talents. Everyone has what they are good at. and everyone has something to bring to the table in the community. It's just about recognizing what that gift or gifts may be, and then embracing them, utilizing them, as well as recognizing when those areas need development and growth. So the nature of the gift itself, although in Ozark terms is often something supernatural, it really is just a talent or an aptitude for being able to engage with the community in a specific way. And each of us have that. And the gifts of one person do not outweigh the gifts of another person. Just like the gift of the specialist healer within the community does not outweigh the gift of the generalist, and vice versa. Our gifts are our own. And if we come from this place of recognizing our gifts, our individual aptitudes and talents, and bringing them together, we can work a lot better. I always like the image of a quilt. Every piece works together to form the quilt, to form the tapestry. If we were missing one piece, it wouldn't be a quilt. The pattern wouldn't be cohesive. The last point that I want to look at is, I think, one of the most important points. And this, amongst traditional healers, healers are always insistent on the fact that healers don't call themselves healers. Healers don't make healers. The community makes the healer. And I think this is really important in an age where we really, encounter a lot of situations where we are constantly having to define ourselves and define our borders, that we recognize that sometimes we practice our gifts and our talents in a way that we aren't establishing anything, but we are existing within the system that's just already there. The community makes the healer. The community raises up the healer. The healer doesn't claim it of themselves. This is also points to this humility that traditional healers often have about their gift. And this is something that I think we can take into our own communities, this idea that our gift is not any better than anybody else's. Our gift may be different, but it's all a part of that system. It's all a part of that tapestry. So this idea that the community calls and we answer that call. The community has a need and we show up. We show up to help in whatever way we can. And we don't just show up alone or thinking that we're going to save the community, but we recognize that it's not just by one person that communities are built or raised or saved or changed, but by everybody coming together for that. One of the most important, I think, points that one of my healer teachers gave to me related to this is this idea that the healer, or in this case, all of us as healers of our community, if we aren't addressing the needs of the community, then we aren't healers. And that's really important, as we sometimes lose sight of communities that change and evolve. In my talks about Ozark history and Ozark folklore, I feel like I'm constantly saying we are not talking about a museum exhibit when we talk about Ozark folk healing and healing practices. We aren't talking about something that is static, set in time. We aren't talking about an anachronism or, as I like to call it, we're not Ozark LARPing, for those of you that know that term. We aren't trying to play something. We aren't putting on a production. Ozark traditional healing is an ever-evolving process because it is intimately linked to ever-evolving communities. And as communities change, the practices and beliefs of the community change and evolve. As new people come into the community adjusts, shifts, grows, learns. And so this is, I think, a very important piece of the puzzle for us, that we remember not to get lost in the folklore, not to get lost with the museum exhibit. And we can extend this metaphor out to not just, the Ozarks, but the museum exhibit that is the stagnancy of what we expect the community to be versus what the community is becoming. And I think that this is an important part of us bringing our gifts into the community, of addressing the needs of the communities around us, that we adjust for the changes, that we don't try to force it into a box that it doesn't fit, that we work within that and we evolve with that, and we show up there with our talents to be able to address those needs as they appear and as they evolve. One of my healer teachers that provided a lot of folklore and helped me connect with a lot of other healers, one of our first conversations, I asked her if Ozark folk healing was dead, because that was really a thing that I wanted to know. I was going out to see if these practices that I had read about in the folklore were still around, were still alive. So I asked her, is this stuff dead? And she reacted in the best possible way, which is a way that I now react to that question when it's asked of me. And she did the biggest belly laugh I've heard. And she said, how can it be dead if the community isn't dead? And I think that that's sometimes when we get lost in the folklore, when we get lost in these big expectations that we put on ourselves, that we expect of ourselves, when we lose sight of what community actually means, and that community exists in varying levels, when we lose sight of all of that, we get to this pessimistic place of, oh, I can't do anything, it's dead. But the practices, the healing, what we need for the community is alive as long as the community is alive. And spoiler alert, the community will always be there. And if you think about the community as at its smallest part being you, as long as you are here, the work needs to be done still. And there's a way for you still to use your gifts and your talents as healers within the community. So I want to reiterate what I opened with by saying that we're all healers, but we don't even know it. And I think that as we move into a time where we more and more need community and need to address the sorrows and the sicknesses of the community around us, that we remain open to those needs, that we show up, even if it's just in silence with a listening ear, but we show up. We show up for our friends, our families, our community at large, our nation at large. We show up with our gifts, with our talents. And I think it's important for us to remember that it's not on one person. Traditionally, in Ozark communities, a lot of times the healer of the community got a lot of stuff put upon them by the community. And in addressing this, one of my healer teachers always used to tell me that the importance of the healer within the community is made by the community, is put on the back, on the shoulders of the healer, but that the community is just as much a part of the process as the community healer is. That it isn't one-sided, but reciprocal. And so although you may feel like you are the one person standing for truth within your community, remember that it's just as likely that the others within that community will themselves recognize their gift, just as likely as it is that you recognized your gift. So we are never alone in our communities, even if we think that we might be. So the importance of the community is the importance of the healer. The healer is as important as the community, but we are all healers. We are all healers within our community because we all have our gifts, and we all have gifts that address the needs of the community around us. And I think that we need to remember that, because it is together in that we are really able to make the changes that we need at every level of our community. And as we peel out those layers, those onion layers of the community, as they arise, we're able to show up in strength and in power. We're able to show up for each of those layers as we need to show up. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. It reminds me of our CARES team here and all the help and support that we can give each other just right here in this community, too. Please rise if you are willing and able. This is from our gray hymnal number 317. We are not our own, earth forms us, human leaves on nature's growing vine, fruit of many generations, seeds of life divine. We are not alone, earth names us, past and present peoples near and far, family and friends and strangers show us who we are. Therefore let us make thanksgiving, and with justice willing and aware, give to earth and all things living liturgies of care. Let us be a house of welcome, living stone upholding living stone, gladly showing all our neighbors we are not our own. Thank you. You may be seated.
Please join me in the extinguishing of the chalice. We extinguish this flame.
Just some words to leave you with. We are healers whenever we use our gifts and talents to enrich and support our families, friend groups, neighborhoods, towns, and wider communities, however we choose to define them. And in doing this, we find ourselves a part of an unbroken chain of human compassion that stretches back to our earliest ancestors. We are all healers, and we don't even know it.
Thanks again, Brandon. Thanks, everybody. And I'm going to sing We Are Rooted in Fertile Ground again, because I think we're going to be singing this a little more often now that I've found this gem. So, all right. Enjoy your conversation. And remember, we are all healers. I believe that to my soul. Thank you so much. We are rooted in fertile ground, fertile ground. We are rooted in fertile ground, and our roots grow deep, and our love abounds, 'cause we are rooted in fertile ground, fertile ground. We are building a better day, better day. We are building a better day. As we work and dream, we are on our way. We are building a better day, better day. May compassion be our guide as we offer up our lives in the service of justice, peace, and love. May our faith